This is your typical farmer pose, right? Got a nice white button-down shirt.
With your sweatpants and holy tennis shoes. Holier than thou tennis shoes.
Oh, exactly.
Good lordy.
You like that, huh?
Your shirt makes you look like you're at like church camp.
Yeah, well. Oh, well. It's a nice work shirt.
Yeah, a white shirt for tilling the soil.
Yeah, it's a work shirt. I like it because you can take the sleeves and it's got buttons up here to fold them up on.
That's fair.
I don't know if you can see it, but the back is vented. Pocket's also vented.
So if this boy gets sweaty, he has absolutely no excuse. He's out of shape.
Exactly. So anyway, today we're going to be working out in the garden here again today. We're going to be planting hopefully potatoes, sweet corn, peas. I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
We could do the carrots today.
I'm looking at that maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we're going to be planting those three here. And actually, let's go over this real quick. We got 4 different types of potatoes we're going to be planting here today. My wife's holding one of them here. I'll show you folks. And this is the one we're probably going to plant first. We got Russet North Dakota, however you say that.
I'm guessing.
And that is that's a brown potato, by the way. Then we got, I'll just have to show folks, red La Soda.
Isn't that the kind we had last year? It was one of the reds.
I don't remember which red we had last year.
And then we have another variety of red skin.
This is red Norland. One's an early, one's a late. I don't remember which one's
which. This one does small silver dollar sized.
Yeah, this is early season. This must be late. Okay, yeah,
late season.
So this is your late red. That's your early red. And then we got this is a brand new one to us here. We are planting
Yukon Gold.
Makes really good mashed potatoes.
Yeah, they do.
This is a mid-season.
Dude, those make the best mashed potatoes. Like
we got.
Ooh, those would be really good for what are they called? The ones you like. The ones that are really thin. Yes, those are really good for scalloped potatoes.
So yeah, those are the we're gonna plant in 4 types. We're hoping we get 4 rows in here. We'll see how that goes. When it comes to potatoes, the size of your potato seed really makes a big difference on like what you can get to a row here. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes. I know like last year we had really small potatoes. Now that does not.
That doesn't really affect the size of your crop potatoes. Not even a little bit. Our seed potatoes about this big. Crop potatoes about. I can't even do it with one hand.
Right. Yep. So. When you get seed potato oven, you actually, at least when you buy it, try to get the smallest ones possible because then there'll be more seed potatoes in the bag. Otherwise, if you get great big seed potatoes,
you end up hoping they have a lot of eyes on them and chop them.
Yep. So
just makes more work for you.
We'll have to figure out the spacing here in a minute, and we're going to start planting these. And I don't know about you folks, I always like to plant potatoes. You drop it's everything else having little teeny seeds, right? But the potato, big old chunk.
Big old chunk.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's the late season. I thought we should do the early season on the outside where it's easier to get to.
This is mid-season.
Okay, that's fine. Late season in the middle then there.
Okay.
And the other mid-season on the other side of that late season one.
So you want the Yukon next?
Yeah, and then the other red skin on the inside. Okay. Yep, our method, we marked some inches on this hoe here, and we're using that to space out the rows, using the bags to mark where our rows are going to be. How far apart are we doing our rows?
I'm doing 36. I want to see what that looks like. That looks like pretty good.
That looks like pretty good. And we should be able to get another crop in here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking carrots because they don't spread quite as wide.
I think that'll work pretty good.
Yeah, that should be fine.
3 feet. And the thing with potatoes, once they start getting bigger, they grow together, and then you can't get down between them. But as long as you keep the weeds out, that also means they grow together. You don't have to worry about the weeds.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, as long as you get the weeds early season before they get a chance to really establish themselves, it won't be much of a problem.
Yep. Okay, let's set up our string line and we'll start planting.
All right, I'll get the river gnats out of my eyes in the meantime. All right. So this is going to be our guideline for the row.
Yep.
Plant the potatoes directly under the string. Right along it.
Yeah, plant right along it.
Most excellent.
last year's. What happens if we have more potatoes than we have roll for here?
I don't know. Give them away.
Good.
Sell them. Marketplace. One lucky subscriber. You want our leftover taters?
That one don't look.
That one doesn't look promising.
No, just toss that one because I think we got plenty. Looks like they're ready to be planted. I got eyes on them. Well, there's still quite a few yet.
Like half a bag?
I don't know, half a bag, but
Third of the bag.
third of a bag.
And for any of you guys who watched our garden videos from last year, we planted 4 rows of potatoes. They all turned out to be redskins. We thought some of them were russet. Turns out they were just exceptionally dirty redskins. Do you mind, Siren? We're trying to record.
Well, that'll use a few more.
Sounds like a fire truck.
Yeah. I didn't do it.
They're coming for you. Not just the popo, the fireman too. What did you do?
You see it over there?
But yeah, last year those 4 rows of potatoes that we got, dang, there are a lot of sirens today.
What happened?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yep, there's definitely a fire truck. I'm hearing police car. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. You can blame my ditzy brain. But yeah, those 4 rows of potatoes we planted, we've still got potatoes left over. We're still eating them.
I guess we could continue to roll out that way.
I wouldn't recommend it. Especially if we're gonna have 4 rows.
Yeah, we got more than enough potatoes.
Yeah. Yep, that's a fire truck.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a couple of them. Can't see them from here, though. If you stand at the end of our driveway, everyone, you can see the main road from here, but personally, I'm not doing the cardio to get up there. I know, shocking, isn't it? But yeah, after you get your potatoes in the ground, they don't need a super deep hole, just enough to make sure that they can be covered by the soil.
Yep. Oh, while we're planting potatoes here, one of the things I've heard, you're supposed to like plant it with the eyes up or eyes down. I've never done that. We just throw them on the ground.
I think most people say eyes up.
Eyes up. I think that sounds right.
Because that's where the stalk comes from.
I've never seen where it makes a difference, so.
Nope. We throw them willy-nilly, seems to do good.
Yep.
The one thing, I haven't planted anything until I married this boy. The one thing I'm learning about gardening and planting in general, just neglect. Plant neglect. It seems to do wonders.
I don't know about that, but.
Well, as long as you weed them and make sure they don't shrivel up and die, don't mess with them. Just let them do their thing. These ones are really branching out. It's hard to grab one without grabbing 7. Also, if anyone's wondering if the time of year that you plant makes a difference, it does. These are the black raspberries we planted late season last year, towards the end of summer, beginning of fall. These are the ones we planted in the spring / early summer. Had a little bit more time to get established. Kind of just went insane. Very, very big difference. Oh, she's a stinky girl, yes. Alrighty.
Okay, everyone, we got all the, well, we didn't get all the potatoes planted. We planted 3 rows instead of the 4 rows we were planning on. The first 2, the russets and the late reds, the potato seeds were small, really small. So we had no problem planting the entire row the whole way down.
Plus a third of a bag left over for each, pretty much.
Then we went to the Yukon Gold, that one, and now if you can see the stake behind me there, that's how far we made it. Again, the size.
Yeah, not the entire way.
Size of the seed potatoes, that one, they're probably easy 4 times bigger, I bet. So
granted, if you do have potatoes with multiple eyes, you can cut them.
you can.
But that also leads to.
I've never done that. I always planted the whole potato. So.
I don't know if that would cause them to rot faster.
I don't know. And then after the Yukon, we planted the early reds, and same story. That one, we only made it part way down there. Again, big potatoes. So.
Put late reds at the very end.
And then, yeah, we got some more late reds at the very end. So we got 3 rows.
We got 3 rows, and the 3rd row is a trifecta.
Yep. So we changed up our plans here a little bit. I think we got a new plan. We are going to plant hopefully 2 rows of peas in here.
The peas have to be 2 feet apart, 24 inches
so
minimum.
I think we got room for that here.
Yep. The only thing is, and then this year we're also going to be growing them on a trellis.
Yes, we're going to try a trellis this year.
Last year they seemed to be getting very top heavy. Their pods were very big. So we're going to hopefully keep them growing up a bit.
Yep. So anyway, we're going to set up. We're going to start doing that one. I'm probably going to try to go 3 foot off this row, and then 24 for the next one. So that'll probably put us something somewhere in here for the last row.
Okay.
It's okay if we're close to the strawberries, I think. At least I hope.
Also, if you guys have any ideas for effective, easily visible garden markers, we're looking to get some new ones. The ones I've got are super cute and I love them. So you can see little, yeah, we wrote on them, but little woodcut ones. But honestly, they're just too small. They're adorable, but I stepped on a couple last year. I know Pumpkin sat on one and squashed it with her butt.
Yep.
I'm not kidding. She snapped. She's fat ass.
Okay, so we're going to go 3 foot off this one.
Okay.
And the pea planting is going to go very quick.
Oh, yeah. Handy dandy little planter marking tool. Did you invent that or did somebody else teach you it?
That's from my dad. I don't know if someone taught him that or not, but...
From his Dutch elders. And then, pardon the shakiness, I'm stomping down the dirt. Trying to make a visible little pathway between our rows, make it a little easier to see until we get our first little sprouts coming up.
Someone playing with my string?
Yes. Didn't she do this last year too? Oh wait, we didn't have her last year. That was Nasty Boy, right?
That was Nasty Boy that played with it, yep.
Yeah. He was a menace.
What you doing with my string, huh?
She being naughty. All right, getting the cedar set up right now.
Yes, and this one took a little bit here to plant the potatoes. So planting the peas and the corn is not going to take long. I mean, this is a Earthway, I guess you call it a garden seeder here. One. It's a single row planter. It uses plates here. So depending on what type of seed you have, so we got one for corn, and then we got one for beans and peas here.
So it automatically sets the distance between the seeds.
Distance, and then of course all your seeds are different size too. So you know you gotta have different size plates for that as well. But that's just gonna go in there. We're gonna lock that in. And I gotta say, if you're planting a decent sized garden, oh, this thing is a lifesaver.
Definitely a worthy investment.
Yes, very worthy.
Yeah. Can you imagine having to do this the old-fashioned way? Just go through with the.
Right.
Ugh.
Oh, that reminds me, we got to set our depth here. So for this, one inch deep. So we got to set our depth here. And down here we have our depth settings. So we want 1 inch right there. And we got the chain. This could be improved upon a little bit of a hokey chain, but yeah.
All that does is scrape the dirt back over it.
Yep. Scrape the dirt back over.
And then the wheel behind it just helps pack the dirt in.
Yep.
Okay. Simple enough.
Okay.
Little plow mechanism with a wedge in it that lets the seeds fall through.
Yep. So planting, like I said, this is gonna go nice and quick.
All right, and that, what's the triangle attachment off the side here?
This marks your next row.
Excellent.
So we got the stake set up for the first one here, but the second one,
instead of having to reset the stake again and again.
Yeah, we're not gonna have to set it again.
So we'll only have to set this up once for the corn.
Yep. I'm oh, there it goes. Charge it.
All right.
Alrighty.
Onward.
Okay, when peas are finished, that did not take long. Like I said, when you got one of these, just up, down real quick. I mean, what would it take? A couple minutes at the most.
Not even.
So anyway, now we're gonna move on to the sweet corn oven. That uses a different plate, different spacing, and then of course different seed size. So pretty simple, just take that one out.
And then also different depth.
Yes, we don't have the bag for the seed corn. I think it's 2 inches, so we're just gonna set that to 2 inches.
And then you remember the distance from last year?
It doesn't have a 2 inch mark. Okay, we're just gonna go probably about there. All that good. And I've increased the spacing just a little bit here. I'm debating if we should do that or not. Maybe just leave it at, I think we'll leave it at the wider width.
Well, we should be able to fit 5 rows.
Yeah.
Well, close. The strawberries did encroach a bit, so
yeah,
we might only get 4 rows.
Let's see how it goes here.
Which, I mean, we still have corn from like last year and the year before, so I think
So we don't need this.
I think 4 rows will be fine. Yeah.
Yep. There's our corn seed. Hey, notice it's red. I don't remember what the coating is, everyone. If it's it's probably a pesticide.
It's the Flamin' Hot Cheeto mix.
Pesticide, fungicide. It could be something to protect it from rotting. They put all kinds of coatings on your corn seeds, so.
Well, corn seed is kind of, I don't know. In some cases, it's really stubborn. In other cases, it seems super dainty. Okay.
Okay, we should be ready.
All right. Is it coming out?
Yeah, it's coming out. Just make sure it looks good depth-wise. I might shallow that up here a little bit just because this ground is really soft.
True. It doesn't need to cut quite as hard.
No.
We could always Google real quick how deep to put these.
2 inches. That's too shallow. I gotta win here, Mike.
Come on, Goldilocks.
There we go.
1.5-ish?
1.5-ish, yeah, we'll try that. Yeah, I like looks of that so far.
That looks good. And I'm falling behind with the markers. freshly tilled soil, much, much easier to see where your next row is going to be.
Okay, well, I think that's going to do it for the video here for tonight, Evan. We got 3 rows of potatoes planted, 2 rows of peas, and then 5 rows of corn planted over on that side. We're probably going to plant some carrots, I think, in the middle, and then some beans on the other ends of the strawberries there. I'm not sure how many rows yet. We'll figure that out later.
Yep,
and then
have onions and spinach.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yep, I forgot too. I don't know if I mentioned this. We're going to be planting the new strawberries in this area. Plus, we'll probably have some more room in here for some other stuff as well. We'll see how it works out. But anyway, I think we're looking pretty good here so far, everyone. We got a lot of potatoes planted, quite a few peas, and a lot of corn planted here as well. So with that, everyone, thanks for watching. If folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And just another note here too, if you plan on doing any gardening, everyone, oh, those things are nice. They're not terrible expensive, and yeah, sure makes it nice and quick and easy. Right depth, width, spacing, the whole works, everyone. That's definitely the way to go.